wearable robotic suit that enables people with lower limb impairment, probably caused by something like a spinal cord injury or a stroke, to actually use the strength of the exoskeleton to walk. It means that people can take daily walking exercise, which is something that's not possible currently for people with these types of injuries. The reason being, it takes between 2 and 6 therapists to provide about 20 minutes of walking exercise. It's just not commercially or physically viable. The Ekso device has a special feature called variable assist. And this means that the power that the person actually has retained post their injury can also be accommodated within the device, so that they can train themselves to walk better. In some cases, people may walk away from the exoskeleton. For somebody who currently has a complete spinal cord injury, what they gain from walking exercise is what we gain from walking exercise. So we know that if we sit in a chair for long periods of time, we will not be well.
Thanks, Jim. Well, I may be training in Trinity College's sports centre to come and walk in Dundrum here with all the Dundrum teenagers on a Saturday. It's a great space. But I suppose I'm really excited, and peers who raised the money so that I could buy this suit a couple of years ago, we're really excited that Ekso are across here promoting these devices, because I've been fortunate enough to have our Pollock Trust running the dark and fundraising behind me to raise the money. But as Jane mentioned at the start, there are hundreds of people around the country who don't have access to this kind of stuff. So I think what we're moving towards, what we need to move towards as a country, is finding spaces for rehabilitation once you get out of hospital for the rest of our lives, right around the country, and having people who don't have a fundraising backing, getting them to have access to this kind of equipment.
So my name is Dale Messenger. I was injured in 2009 and shot by a fellow soldier in the army, and left me with a paraplegic at L45, incomplete. So I spent 2 years at Headley Court rehabilitating, and my rehabilitation plateaued. I had no more progress with my rehabilitation, and I eventually found Ekso. I've been using Ekso for maybe 2 years now, on and off, and in the last 5 months, every day. And since March, I've been able to come off my medication. I have more function. I've been able to get more function back in my legs. I've been able to go to the gym and expand on that and use my legs more. And the feeling of Ekso is amazing. When you first get up in it, it's elating. It's just absolutely fantastic. You can't explain it, because for someone who is able-bodied, it's just a natural thing. And the beauty of Ekso is it's also natural. You stand, you walk, and the way you walk, this is a very natural gait pattern, which is fantastic. It's exactly what you need, and that's the beauty. That's why it works.
So it was originally developed as a suit for the military to help soldiers carry heavy loads on their back. But after one of the co-founders' brother had a spinal cord injury, he basically changed the path and turned it into a medical device to help paralysed folks walk. His brother's fully rehabilitated now and didn't actually need the device, but that was the genesis of where it came from. It was our first medical device was out in 2011, and our second device came out December last year.
There's at least 50 million in direct investment by Ekso Bionic. I'm trying to get into both the rehab market and the prehab market. Prehab is a word that's not used quite so much yet, but I think it's going to be the way of the future, which is looking at people and making sure that they don't end up in rehab. So you're looking to see where the injury or the illness could come from and ensuring that you're mobilizing and exercising to overcome that.
We see this going, the future of this really going, further and further, and eventually getting to the point where, grandma will put on a pair of Ekso trousers to walk around the block and take the kids for a walk. So we're really at the very foot of the mountain here. I look at this as being the first ever cell phone, a big clunky device, and eventually, look where the iPhone is today. So.
Yeah, just to be upright again. When I stood up, the first thing I saw was myself in the mirror, and it's just massive for your head. Like people talk about depression and that kind of thing, but to see yourself upright the way that you're used to seeing yourself, it's huge. Like I still don't think of myself as being in a chair. I sort of think of it as a temporary thing, more so that I'm on the chair.
We thought it was originally going to be a mobility device, but it's not. It's a rehabilitation device, and just by standing and walking a few times a week, patients are seeing that their neuropathic pain is going away and staying away, so they're not taking all these medicines that they're damaging their liver and kidneys. They're getting better cardiovascular, better blood pressure, less pressure sores, less urinary tract infections, and an overall sense of wellness. So it's really, a shift in how we look at medicine and a proactive approach. Invest now rather than pay later.